Okay, so this is the training video for setting things up before Sunday morning. And so we're going to assume that it's Sunday morning and you've just come in. It's nice and early, so nobody else is here and nothing is really on. And so we're going to just kind of walk through what we normally do. So to start with, we kind of work from left to right as far as this goes. So the first thing I usually do is just go ahead and turn on the stage lights. And then moving a little bit to the right, there's this orange power button. Turn that on. Keep moving right, turn on the board, and then wait for the board to actually turn on and load before you do anything else, which usually doesn't take super long. Okay, and then right here are the amps, and it's this middle switch of the three white ones, and so you just flip that on, and now we've got sound. And then next we'll turn on the projectors. So this little remote here turns on front projector. Which there we go. And then obviously you don't need a remote to turn on the back one. And I usually do those both at the same time, just makes it easier for me to remember. Okay, so there's an orange power button right here that underneath the amps. That's not for anything anymore. I went ahead and kept it because it's got an outlet, and sometimes I use it to like charge my phone and stuff, but nothing that we use on Sunday morning is dependent on this power thing, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so while the projectors are starting up, go ahead and start up the Mac. I've got it up, so I didn't restart it, but if the Mac is on for some reason, go ahead and restart it, because it works better with a fresh boot, and that way with the new one it restarts so quickly that you don't have to sit around and wait for it to take forever like it did before. So go ahead and if it's on, go ahead and restart it. If it's not on, start it. And it should only take a minute or two before this picture that you see here. You can also see up on the screen, and then also back here. And so that means that the computer has recognized both projectors. And so we're going to go ahead and start ProPresenter. And so ProPresenter is this little orange thing down here on the bottom. So we'll start that. And again, it goes way faster now than it used to, which is nice. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do when we get into ProPresenter is turn on the video camera or the video feed, mainly because I'm really prone to forgetting that, and if I don't do that, I'm worried that I'll forget it. And so you should at this point have the camera on this screen. That all turns on when you turn on that orange power button, and so that should all come on by itself. You shouldn't have to do anything. So in ProPresenter, we just go to if it's not up yet, go to put the media bin up. Just click on it and it'll show up. And then down here in the very bottom of the media bin is a folder called Video Inputs. If you click on that, input number 2 is the one we want. Click on that, and you should have the input there. The next thing that I do is play a video, and there are a couple things that we're going to look for in playing a video. I usually use the intro video, but any video that has sound would work. So I start the video, and like you can see right now, we don't have, like, I can't hear anything, and so that means that something's either turned down or muted on the soundboard, and so now's a good time to figure that out. And as you can see, the soundboard is turned all the way down in the main, which is the default when you turn it on, and so you just have to turn that up, and hopefully that should fix it. So we'll go back and start the video again. All right, so now we have sound in the room, which is one of the two main things we check. And then also, if you look over here on the right side of the screen here, you can see there's a meter going up and down the green. That is the live feed, the sound that's going to the live stream. And so sometimes, and I think this is going to be less of a problem with the new computer, but in the old one, sometimes ProPresenter wouldn't send sound to the live stream, and you'd have to restart it. And so it's always a good idea just to start off by playing a video of some sort, and then making sure that you've got sound in the room and that sound is going to the live stream, and we have both, so we're good. Next, the other thing I check, and this is another thing that should not be an issue with the new computer, but just to make sure, if you go to live up here in the corner, there are two things here. There's start stream and capture settings, and all you're looking is to see if the start stream is an option or if it's grayed out. If it's grayed out, then you need to restart ProPresenter. But if it's an option that you could click on, then you're good, and then you don't have to do anything with that. You just want to make sure that that is working the way that it's supposed to. So next thing we're going to do is put up the countdown, and so usually go ahead and put up the announcement slides, and then we go over here to the right side of the screen. You can see we've got a bunch of options here, and one of them is a little paper airplane. Click on that paper airplane, and then right under that there's a drop-down menu that just has two options: first service countdown and second service countdown. So just pick first service, because if it's first thing in the morning, obviously first service is what we're getting ready for. And then hit show, and you should have a countdown, and that's literally all you have to do. And then in this menu where the little paper airplane was, over to the left is where the music notes are, and that's where the playlists are. And so now we can start our music, and so now we have a pre-service playlist. All right, and lastly, we want to have the controls for what goes on what screen. And so if we go to screens, let me wake my mouse back up here, it went to sleep. Good grief, come on. Screens, and then down to edit looks. That gives you this thing that controls what goes where. And I usually just kind of slide it off to the side here so that it's accessible, but it's not blocking the ProPresenter window. And now you've got that. Okay, so there are a couple things that we do on the stage to get ready. Taking the cover off the piano and propping it open is one, and then sticking the mic inside the piano. And then these two things are really important. Over here to the right of the piano, there are two things. There's what's called a P16 box and then a stage box, and both of those just need turned on. So the stage box, the power button is in the back over on this side by the cords. You just flip it on, and then for the P16, the power button is right here on the front. So the stage box is basically all the things that are plugged in, mics and whatnot on the stage. And so if you don't turn that box on, nothing on the stage will have any sound. And then the P16, that's the in-ear monitor system that Second Service uses. And so if you don't turn that on, Second Service will be confused as to why their in-ear monitors aren't working. So, and that's pretty much the bulk of it. Hopefully there's not a ton of troubleshooting that has to be done, and if everything works, this is all you should have to do. Okay, just a couple quick reminders before we finish here. So you don't have to worry about turning anything off because Second Service will do that, but just so you know how it works, the only thing that really matters is that you want to turn off the amps and the board and the power switch in the opposite order that you turned them on. So we turned the power switch on and then the soundboard and then the amps, and we want to do that backwards. We want to do the amps first and then the mixer board and then the power. The only thing that matters for is that technically you don't want to turn the amps or you don't want to turn the board on and off when the amps are on, because it'll pop and that can blow your speakers. It's not the end of the world if it's not done in the right order, but speakers are kind of expensive and a pain to change. So if possible, we want to turn things off in that order. But you guys, morning first service people shouldn't normally have to deal with that. Remember that if you want to check what the live stream mix is sounding like, you can just go to the live stream itself and hit solo and then listen in those headphones, and it'll show you what's being sent to the live stream. The only other thing I wanted to tell you is that it makes life a lot easier if you make sure that everything ProPresenter is going to need to run is on and going before you start ProPresenter. And so you're gonna ProPresenter is going to need the soundboard, ProPresenter is going to need the 2 projectors, and if you have all that stuff on and ready and then start ProPresenter will see that it's all on and identify it and use it like it's supposed to. If you start ProPresenter and then turn those things on, sometimes ProPresenter doesn't recognize it and things aren't working, but really you just needed to have everything on before you started ProPresenter. So I think that's pretty much it. Thanks so much, and all right.